I think I just need to be very vulnerable with you guys today. It's been a while, and yeah, let's just get into it. So, a few weeks ago, towards the end of October, my wife and I were this close to purchasing a house. This close, literally. A good family friend of mine, I call them dad. Like, they're like mom and dad to me. I've known them since I was 15. They reached out to me and they were like, hey, son, we want to sell you our house. And at the time, it was just like, when things happen, it's like so not the perfect timing. But like just the week before, it was, I had talked to my wife. I was like, hey, what are we going to do with this extra cash? Should we make some more, just standard investment moves, crypto, stocks, take a look at that? Or should we go, maybe look for a rental? We could finally do a rent to own, flip, and then boom, this opportunity comes. But this one hits me differently because it's like they actually want me to live in this house and keep this house. So the rental thing was out of the question for this moment in time, But if I bought the house, it's my house. I could do with it, as I please, right? But yeah, y'all, like, they offered us the house. And not only did they offer us the house, they offered us the house $30,000 to $40,000 below market value. And in a market like this, no competition. They're waiving stuff for us, giving us credits. Like what? Like, this felt like a deal just meant to be. And this is really difficult for me because, and I honestly, I really wish I had shared with y'all the more intimate, through process situation of it actually happening, the up and down emotions that I was feeling at the time and that my wife was feeling as well, the confusion, the uncertainty. There's a lot going on now. Around the same exact time, my mom is in the hospital in the emergency, had to be rushed to emergency, had to have surgery. At this same moment that we're going through trying to decide this. Now, she's, lost income, due to not being able to work and that sort of thing. She wants to remain in this house. And honestly, this house has plenty of space for, my family and my mom included, So we were having a battle with that. Like, hey, so what if she can't go back to work? Are we then responsible for the mortgage and all this kind of stuff? And, it just wasn't sure. Like, I just shared with y'all another video. We just got this fresh income coming in, new jobs, higher pay, all that kind of stuff. And the plan was to be able to stack that money on the side so we could pay off our student loans and that sort of thing. I have a different plan for that, by the way, but that's another video. So yeah, just stacking up the money, whatever. But yeah, this was a good deal, y'all. Yes, it needed work, carpet, paint, a little here and there. But it was stuff that I already know how to do. Like, I'm good with my hands and I know how to figure stuff out. And like, I've hung drywall before. I've done some flooring stuff like with the carpets, but I haven't really laid carpet on my own. So it's just like, I know how to do I've fixed stuff in this house. So I got the experience necessary to take on a project like that. But the timing of it was just not right. And then, we could point to a lot of things and say like life isn't fair and all that stuff. But I really wish I had, certain things under grasp. And honestly, I just want to be real. Like I said, I'm going to be vulnerable. I feel like everything that's like going on with my mom right now is not and should not be my wife and I's responsibility. It was belonging to my dad, who left my mom during the time, like a little after she got diagnosed. Now, they had already had situations, through their relationship. That's their relationship, what have you. But now it becomes responsibility of me, her son, to now play a son husband, if you will. And this role sucks, to be honest with you. I just wouldn't leave my mom out out to dry. Like, I don't know. I just can't. I don't see that that's right or okay to just be like, oh, forget that. I'm gonna go live my life, and here's my opportunity. I'm about to go buy this house. We're about to go live that way. That sort of thing. So I had a lot of battling going on with that, and then it was just so much these past couple of weeks, y'all. Like, work has been crazy, my new job, and then on top of dealing with the stuff at home. That was difficult, man, because I know a deal when I see a deal. I've been involved in real estate since 2016. 2016, and then right at the start of 2017 is when I got started with the real estate company and joined up with them. So I've looked at deals. I know deals. I know what it looks like. That was a deal. In this current market, it's a deal, right? But we also just had to pray about it and really search our hearts, But it was tough, y'all. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I cried, man. Because it was like this was the thing that we had been building up for a very long time. Like, we had been doing this. So, like, for the past 4 or 5 years, this was the goal, because it's something that my wife wanted, something that I wanted. And so I was like, all right, boom, what we got to do? All right, we need to lower our debts, right? So remember I told y'all we had a bunch of debts before, and we were able to cut that debt in half within a year. So that was working towards this and getting our credit right. All right, boom, we got to get our credit right. Boom, we got scores in the 700s, 750s now. Like, and then, all right, boom. Also, at the beginning of the year, the first quarter of the year, we were only approved. This is when the market really started getting hot, but we were only approved for $120,000. We get to this point, and I'm talking to my mortgage broker, and we get approved for $300,000. That is a huge jump from quarter one, now going to, what is this? Entering quarter four, to be approved for $300,000. Like, man. So, like, I did the math, I did the numbers. I was like, well, our payments would be anywhere between, $640 to at max $1,800. So that's literally the excess income that we were talking about saving. HOA fees were cheap, all that kind of stuff. Again, $30,000 to $40,000 in immediate equity. Like, as soon as I buy this house, we got $30,000 equity. As soon as we buy it. And I don't know. Well, maybe I'll look back on the situation and be like, wow, maybe we should have taken that. Maybe we should have done that. But I'm in this tough position where I'm adulting, I guess, where it's like, to take on that risk. I have a family, daughters to take care of and all that kind of stuff, to make sure that we're good, we eat. I wouldn't want us to go into a situation that we become house poor. Our, income is now tight because we bought this house. It happens to people all the time. People are so, got the house fever, and especially right now, like, people, there's an article out there about millennials, my generation, millennials regretting their house purchase. Over 60% of millennials are regretting the house purchase, okay? And that is because we're rushing into something that we think is supposed to be the status quo. And, I had to really, really fight this one, y'all, because the numbers was perfect. And I feel like that's how you get tempted a lot of time. Everything just looks so good. It just looks so appeasing, like it's about to be it, And yeah, we had to. It was tough, but y'all, I'm telling you, like we talked about it all night. We would stay up, talk about it any of our free time during the day, and then it came down to we had 2 days to sign the purchase agreement, right? 48 hours, and that second day, we were just like, I was like, Raven, what do you think, man? Pretty much, she wasn't direct, but it was a no, for sure. So I was like, all right, it's a no, you know? But yeah, it was definitely, it would have been nice if the cards were laid out differently. But I agree, like, even Warren Buffett said this. Warren Buffett, I had shared something on my Facebook not too long ago. And it's a real quote by Warren Buffett. I hate when people post quotes and don't do their research to make sure that that person said that, what they're posting. But no, Warren Buffett really said this. Like, he bought his house for what, like $35,000 a long time ago. Now it's worth like almost $300,000 or something like that. Something like that. But he was like in an article, in a response to somebody asking this question about his house. He said, yes, that house provided great memories. I love that I bought it, you know, all of that. But looking back, I actually wish that I had rented longer and used that down payment money to invest in more stocks, and it would have repaid me way more times than the house has appreciated in value. Essentially, that's what he said. And I think about that, I'm like, wow, yeah. Because yes, crazy appreciation is happening right now, but there is different things going on in this market that are accounting towards these valuations in the housing market. Okay, and I firmly believe. I mean, you just look at it. The quote, what comes up must come down. Must come down. And people are being very greedy right now. So when people are being greedy, I am fearful. When people are fearful, I'm turning on the greedy. Give it to me. You don't want it, I'm buying it. And that's not happening yet. So when that happens, we'll be able to buy 3 or 4 houses, honestly. So it's just being patient and knowing when to say no, even when it's hard to say no. And doing the right thing. Standing by my mom when really I have siblings. And, I mean, they off and on with the wind with it, you know. But it's just like, man, I try to put myself in that position. I was like, would I just want my kids to just leave me? Like, I'm sick and I, need some sort of assistance. Would I just be like, oh yeah, kids, go and live your life. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. I probably would, honestly. But that's not, this person has taken care of you and has sacrificed so much for you, it's not that you should feel guilty or feel obligated. It's just, as, if we're going to do the right thing for other people and stand by other people, it's just the right thing. You do the right thing. And that's what I feel like I'm doing. And it's hard. But, I'm doing it. So, just watching the market. We're going to continue to stack this money, make some investments, paying attention to inflation, y'all. Pay attention to this inflation because it is getting real. So I predict that we will continue to see, just studying the market, we will continue to see housing prices rise. It's going to get, well, it depends on what side of the fence. If you're a homeowner, that's great. Increase in more equity, but you better take advantage of that while you can, either selling or doing something else. Now the name of the game is trying to battle inflation. How can I make sure my money stays up within the purchasing power? Okay. And right now that's just looking like stocks and crypto right now, honestly, is able to beat inflation at its current rate, which is like 5%. Now if we get hyperinflation, probably the only thing that could help that is crypto. The market's crazy, but we have to be paying attention and you got to be smart. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm kind of glad we did. Like, I mentioned Warren Buffett, and I'm going to mention Kanye. Kanye even said something about, like, what do I need to own a house for? A lot of the wealthy people, they control everything but own nothing. So people are very surprised about that. Yeah, their businesses own stuff and they have ownership of that company, but they don't have like that. That's a whole different conversation. That's a different conversation. But control everything and own nothing. All right. So it's like, why would I want to buy a house right now in this crazy market when stuff is so inflated? You know, I'm not that type of person that really wants to be weighed down with a mortgage, honestly. And then I know that there's other opportunities that if I don't keep a mortgage or have a mortgage, there's other things I can do out here with my money. I'm able to living expenses, most of my peers, they are paying a mortgage that is from 35, 40, sometimes even 45% of their income, y'all. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's the most expensive. Housing is the most expensive thing in our life for our lifetime. Housing. It's the thing you need, shelter, right? It's the most expensive thing. And the name of the game for me is right? If the board is always moving, if you're trying to play this game, the board moves, the pieces move. So you need to pay attention. And I choose, like a lot of women are people that was sold this dream of buying a house and all that stuff. Oh, you still living with mama? I don't care. That don't hurt me. Like, yes, I'm still living with mama, but I pay these bills. So, and I'm able to save. I live at my living expenses for housing 30% or less. It's probably now about 25%. 25, 30, but I have to look at it again. Maybe it's still floating at that 30. But compared to everybody else, I believe it's 25, y'all. I really think it's 25%. Everybody else, 40%, 35%? Come on. Like, that's significant savings. Significant savings, like Warren Buffett said, that I can then throw into the stock market. I can throw into other investments that will actually make me a greater return than paying for that shelter. Thank you. Yes, I'll do that. I'll pick that. So, honestly, I don't care, man. Like, it doesn't get to me. We have been sold a dream. We have been sold a dream that we have to buy a house, that we need to move out of our parents' estate or whatever and then go buy our own house because it feeds into this whole thing. It keeps the cycle. It keeps it going. And that's pretty much what Kanye was talking about. And I've been saying that for years. I don't know when he did this interview, but I just came across it a couple of days ago.
You don't even have a house. That's how rich you are. You don't even have a house.
I'm not into the class system where it's like that's one of the main things they use to control us. I think my whole existence is about not being out of control, but being out of their control, being in control of yourself. I was arguing with this one publicist, and I told the person I wasn't going to have a house. And they spazzed on me, said, "You've done too much in your life to not have a house. You need a house." Like, so tried to impose that idea. My home is just when my daughter FaceTimes me. That's where my home is.
Make some noise for that, guy.
But I have been saying this, is that it's about that control, right? Control of this whole entire system. And I'm not about to go into all of that and say like it's a conspiracy theory or whatever. But we see it. We have been sold a dream. You know, what is it? The house, the son and daughter and the dog and the white picket fence, like that sort of thing, you know. So, yeah, you don't need all of that. And people I feel like are starting to realize that. And especially like for me in this unique situation, regardless of how messed up it may be, there's still upside to this and there's still a good side to it. So, yeah, we didn't buy the house, but there's a lot of positives to that. And I want to focus on those and keep building, keep making some smart investment moves, continue to build up my business. Who knows, it could be something worth something. I don't know. We'll see. But that's just how I roll. So keep keep your expenses low. That's the name of the game, y'all. Housing is the most expensive thing. So figure out a way to work together. I just don't understand. America's like one of those places where You need to go get your own house. You need to go do these own things. But in other cultures and countries, we live together. Humans of, grandma, mom, dad, they all live together and work together. And like, imagine all of those different incomes pulled together and how much of a difference y'all can make with like investing or starting your own fund. Like we just have it messed up over here as Americans. We got it too good, and we think we're better than everybody else. And so this whole buying a house craze and all of that. I mean, y'all go ahead. I'm still with real estate. Real estate is a solid investment. I firmly believe that. But it does not become an investment when you live in it. Once you live in that house, it is now a liability because it's not making you money. And I also made the argument with good debt and bad debt. It becomes bad debt when you are living in it, essentially, because it can't make you any money other than the appreciation, which on normal years is about 5-6%, if that. So it doesn't make you any money unless you house hack. But a family of 4 or 5, a wife is not going to allow a house hack. For that matter, I wouldn't either. A house hack to my camera's about to die. To allow strangers in the house, that sort of thing, or roommates or whatever. So it's just a no, unless you get a duplex. But anyway, that's just my rant. The same thing with student debt. That's bad debt because it doesn't like pay you dividends or any sort of cash flow. You then, once you earn that degree, you then have to go work a job that you then get paid money for. That's not passive income. So anybody who's out there telling people that student debt is good debt, no, it's not. It's still bad debt because it doesn't make you passive income. I'm pretty much done. But yeah, good debt is when, for example, I borrow some money to buy an apartment complex, okay? And then now I'm getting paid cash flow from the tenants that are renting and living in those apartments. That would then be good debt. There's other examples of that. You borrow money for your business and that business actually makes you solid cash flow. There we go. That's good debt. That's a good use of a loan. It's not the same thing when we're talking about student loans. It's not passive. It's not. All right. So yeah, that's my rant. That's my spiel. That's me being 100% vulnerable with y'all. We had an opportunity to buy a house, and I'm just sharing with y'all what I'm thinking about, what's going on in the market, and all that kind of stuff. So we didn't buy the house. You now know more about my personal life and what has gone on with that, and why we're still here in my parents' house. But it's cheaper to live here. We got all the rooms pretty much. I mean, it's a 3,000 square foot house. There's only 5 people living in it. So, plus the dogs. So I think we're good, y'all. And I don't ever allow anybody to try and force their thoughts onto you, And I've been having to battle that for a very long time. I felt like a failure because of what I believe and what I see to be true in the world as an entrepreneur. Somebody was in my comments in my very first video talking crazy. You should be ashamed. This is, there are plenty of opportunities out here and da-da-da-da-da. Like, so yeah, it's just like, I don't worry about that. That person didn't bother me at all. And definitely have learned how to get thick skin, especially on YouTube. I'm not worried about these digital fingers typing away on some keyboard because I'm openly being vulnerable here, sharing my life, because everybody has troubles and struggles with stuff, and money is one of those things, and our lifestyles and behaviors are directly correlated with money, so yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. I wanted to share that with y'all. Just so much has been going on these past couple weeks, and so I haven't uploaded. I'm going to get back to the regular scheduled programming here. But yeah, that's it. So thank y'all for watching. I love y'all. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Share any things you seen in the housing market or just the market in general. How much are groceries right now for y'all? Anything you struggling with. Hey, just feel free to share and express, man. That's what we're here for. Alright? So, alright, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's Darius Allen, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.